Hello, all you digital wizards out there. With Halloween just around the corner, what better way to celebrate than with some cool glow effects you can do in Pixlr E. Today, we are going to tackle two different effects. The first is a Harry Potter wand zap effect, and the second is the glowing doodle effect. Let's get started. The first thing you will want to do is bring in the picture you want to work with. Next, you are going to want to add an empty layer. This layer is going to be where we paint our zap. Use your paintbrush tool and the color white to paint your zap line. I use the eraser as well to get a more chaotic looking zap. Once you have your general shape, go to the Smudge Tool and pull out some little wisps. If you're feeling good about your zap, then we will move on to the next step. Duplicate your zap layer. You then want to go to the top of your screen to the word Filter. Go down to Details, and lastly Blur. Go to the three dots of your top layer and change your blend mode from None to Screen. Now we get to add some color to our zap. Go up to the word Adjustment, go down to Hue Saturation. Here, you will click on Colorize and adjust the hue to pick a color. We're going to add one more thing for this glow effect. Head back up to the word Filter and then go down to Outer Glow. Pick a color from the color box and change your size to 30, feather to 100, and opacity to 30. If these numbers don't work for you, feel free to experiment with the sliders until you like the look of your glow. Also keep in mind that your glow will look different depending on if it's day or night. Next, we're going to grab our magic wand tool. Make sure that your second layer is highlighted. Set your feather to a small number to start with, like 5 or 10 pixels. Click outside your zap. If the feather grabs too much, press Ctrl D to deselect and adjust your feather down. When you're ready, press Delete on your keyboard. Remember, you can always press Ctrl Z to undo. With that final step, we have completed our digital wizardry on our wizards. On to our next effect. The glowing doodle or glowing lines effect is a really fun, easy effect to do. But like all of our other Pixlr E demos, it requires a photo to start. This time around, I'm using a darker photo so you can really see the full effect of the glow. Once you have your photo, you're going to want to add a new empty layer. This is where we will paint our doodle. Pick a color at the bottom left and use your paintbrush to doodle your photo. Don't forget about your paint options at the top left. So something that I didn't think about when doing this demo was the size of my lines. I actually changed the size of my lines while drawing this, not realizing that it would be a bit of a pain later. So I'm telling you right now, keep the same size paintbrush throughout your doodle. It's gonna save you some pain later. Go to the three dots of your doodle layer and duplicate the layer. Go to the word Adjustment at the top of your window and down to Hue Saturation. Here you will lighten your doodle to a much brighter and whiter version of the one you just did. This is going to be the fiery center of our glow. Next, grab your magic wand tool and put your feather at a small number, like 5 or 10 pixels to start. Click the area outside of your doodle. You can click multiple areas by holding Shift or clicking the Add button at the top left. Once you have all the areas selected, press delete. Remember that you can push the feather more by pressing delete again, or if it took too much away, press Ctrl Z to undo and try again at a lower feather. You can now see why I warned you against the different size lines. Due to the size of the lines, getting the feather to work just right is tricky, so I had to actually do a workaround where I did my small delete for the smaller lines and then went in and put the small lines into safety before doing the bigger delete. So yeah, after hitting that big old delete button, you're gonna want to jump back over to your layers and press the 3 dots of your top layer. Switch the blend mode of that layer to screen and make sure to highlight your second layer. Go up to the word filter and down to details and then blur. You're then going to want to go to filter and down to outer glow. Pick a color that matches your doodle and set your size to 30, feather to 100, and opacity to 30. I think this second effect came out really nice, and I finished it so quickly that I actually have time to show you one more effect. You could say this is a bonus effect. This is the hologram effect. For this effect, you will want to choose a picture that you want to place a hologram in. I chose this older lady looking at her watch with the idea that the hologram will be coming out of her watch, but feel free to get creative with your hologram. You also want to open a second picture, which will serve as your hologram by going to File and then Open. Up top, you will notice that the second picture opens in its own tab. You can switch between the two at any time. Our next step is to get rid of the background of our second picture. I did this with a combination of the wand tool and lasso. Even though the background is a solid color, the color was too similar to our subject and the wand ended up grabbing more than I would like. Once you've gotten rid of the background, you'll want to select all or press Ctrl A. You then want to press Ctrl C to copy. Switch your tab to your original picture and press Ctrl V to paste the second image in. Size your image down to fit where you want. If needed, go to Edit and then Free Distort to distort your hologram image. This is especially useful if you're trying to get your hologram to match a certain perspective. You then want to go to Adjustment at the top and down to Hue Saturation. Adjust the sliders until you find the hologram color you wish to use, then hit Apply. You might also want to use an adjustment brightness contrast, but that really depends on your picture. Your next step is to go to Filter and then down to Glitches and then Scanlines. Adjust your Scanline sliders until you like the way it looks. Personally, I prefer the smaller Scanlines. Head back over to your Layers panel and click the 3 dots of your hologram layer. Duplicate the layer, go to the 3 dots of your top layer, and change the blend mode to Screen. Go to the word Filter and then down to Details and then Blur. Give your image a little bit of a blur to make it appear as if it's glowing. Your last step is to get rid of any parts of the hologram that might be out of place. For me, that's her shoes that are awkwardly sitting on top of the watch. So I'm just going to lasso around those and make sure to delete that area for both hologram layers. And that is one cool glow effect. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more, like it and hit that subscribe button. And seriously guys, I would love to see how your glow effects came out. If I get enough posted, I might show a few of them on my next video. Till next time, keep it magical.